आज वीडियो में।
स्वागत
और आज
है।
वीडियो हम लेकर आए हैं, उसका टाइटल है
संडे ब्रंच विद सदगुरु एंड कामिया जानी। संडे ब्रंच एपिसोड 95 कर ली टेल।
तो चलिए देखते हैं वीडियो, लेकिन इससे पहले
इस वीडियो के चैनल का ओरिजिनल लिंक आपको हमारी वीडियो की डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब किया, लाइक किया, शेयर करो, फॉलो किया इनके चैनल को। उसके अलावा मैं ब्लॉग चैनल का लिंक, इंस्टाग्राम का लिंक भी हमारी वीडियो की डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब किया, लाइक किया, शेयर करो, फॉलो करें।
चलिए देख लेते हैं वीडियो।
Any warnings you want to give me? Neem is usually very bitter.
No, you swallow it like a pill.
It's bitter, Sadhguru.
Once you eat something so bitter, whole day, whatever people do to you, you feel it's fantastic.
ये जरूरी बात है।
Right.
I think I'm crippled or something.
No.
That's the whole problem. People think spirituality is a disability. That's what I'm changing in the world.
You're too cool, I have to say.
ये तो हम भी बोलते हैं।
Namaskaram from Coimbatore. This time around, I am at Isha Yoga Center. Yes, you guessed it right. I'm here to meet and enjoy a breakfast with Sadhguru.
क्या खाते हैं आप, ये देखिए।
Spread across 150 acres, Isha Yoga Center has a lot to offer. Now, Sadhguru himself never enjoyed going to school, but he has set up an Isha home school here. So before I go and meet him, I want to explore this home school and find out what's different here.
This is known as Gyan Shada.
Gyan?
Gyan, yeah.
It's
Because
called-
it's South India, so the
Yeah.
pronunciation is slightly different. It becomes Gyan instead of in Sanskrit
Yeah.
we say Gyan.
स्ट्रक्चर वैसे बहुत
Physics lab?
Okay. Wow.
Oh.
So it's a home school, but there's also a physics lab here. There's some music class going on, and I can hear some classical stuff. Do you guys also have sessions with Sadhguru ever, or?
Yeah, Sadhguru actually for the past couple of weeks he's been coming every evening to play in Vajra. So
Okay.
after our game ends, so we leave and then Sadhguru comes in and
Plays?
he plays badminton with
With few
one
of the kids.
They always come in for a game of badminton. I think he plays for an hour or so and then leaves for dinner.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
इस जगह की वाइब कितनी
Can I
calm
see
है।
one of the classrooms?
Sure.
जमीन पे बैठ के है ना।
Wow. So much open space here.
कितना खूबसूरत है।
पूरा ट्रेडिशनल वे में बनाया हुआ है।
Fourth is a big part of your
It's a huge
education.
part. It's always a tight schedule. We're up from 5 in the morning. Yeah, we have a fitness routine like run laps and then do some workouts. Then we
Right.
come back, take a shower, do yoga, and then have breakfast. And then class goes on from 9 to 4 p.m. ish.
Okay.
And then again in the evening from like 4:30 to 6:45 ish. Again we have games.
Okay.
So it's a lot of sports.
Wow, there's literally nothing this home school is devoid of. And now that I have seen this school, I'm even more intrigued to meet Sadhguru and find out more about his understanding of education and life. Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Namaskaram.
I'm very happy to start my day to enjoy this breakfast with you, which looks very, very intriguing. Is this how you start your day?
We must understand, food is what builds our body on one level. On another level, it is the main part of our fuel to run the day.
Right.
When I say main part of the fuel, there are other aspects of water, air, sunlight. So the entire aspect of eating food is to balance it as to which is more in your life. If you eat certain types of food, 70% of your energy requirement is coming from the food that you eat. That means definitely you will sleep for 6 to 8 hours a day.
Right, okay.
That means your downtime is 1/3 of your life. 1/3 of your life is gone without you knowing what happened. So, if you change the patterns of eating, and there are other aspects also, there is a yogic aspect to it, but if you eat like this, you will see the volume of food that you need will come down significantly. You don't have to restrain yourself just to this, what is there. But after that, if you eat also, the volume of food that you eat will come down.
Right.
And your ability to get more energy from sunlight, air and water will increase. Right now, as I said, for most people, 70% is from the food. If you reverse this, that 30 to 40% is from the food, rest is from the other three, then you will see your day will easily last for 20 hours a day, very effortlessly. And you will live more, that's what it means.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody is thinking of living for more years. But is it not important that you live for more hours per day?
Per day, that's true, absolutely. But is this it, or is there more to your breakfast?
Well, there will be usually another pomegranate fruit.
Okay.
And if I'm going to be very physically active, let's say I'm going to play a round of golf, because
Yeah.
18 holes I walk, I don't ride carts and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So then maybe I will add some carb to it, maybe an idli or a chapati or something else, either wheat, rice or millet. Any of these things we add so that there is enough carb for the physical activity.
Right.
But if I'm just going into more mental activity and physically I'm not moving around too much, I'm sitting, this is it, and maybe I'll drink a glass of something. Usually we have certain very liquidy millet porridges and stuff like that, which you can drink like coffee.
Okay.
I mean, it's liquid.
Right. So I can see these interesting things laid out. If you can explain the significance of these, and very interesting, these yellow and green balls. What are these?
One is a freshly ground neem leaf ball, another is a
Okay.
turmeric ball.
Okay.
Turmeric we grow around here itself, which is absolutely organic in very rich lands. And neem, of course, it comes from the trees. These two things can do a miracle to your life. First, you swallow these two things in the morning, wait for 10-15 minutes so that it spreads. Because these two will bring down the inflammatory levels in your
Okay.
stomach lining, and also cleans up all the unnecessary bacteria that may be there. In case of any parasite, all that it'll be taken care of. And also, it'll bring a certain glow to you. Don't ask me why I'm not glowing.
You are always. So I've not eaten anything. You're supposed to have this empty stomach, the
Yes,
neem and turmeric,
yes.
yeah?
Empty stomach and some amount of water, not too much water, so
Okay.
that it has enough water to spread.
Okay.
Now, right now what they kept is room temperature,
Yeah.
but at home when you do it, you drink tepid water, not hot water. Yeah.
Any warnings you want to give me? Neem is usually very bitter.
No, you swallow it like a pill. That's not neem anyway, that's turmeric.
Going a bit slow. Just swallow, not with bottom.
With water you can swallow, like a tablet.
Okay, now neem. Guys, I'm gonna have this. It's bitter, Sadhguru.
Then see, this is a way of acclimatizing
Achha.
yourself to life.
Not bad.
Once you eat something so bitter, whole day whatever people do to you, you feel it's fantastic.
That's a good trick.
This is sprouted methi, which is very important to bring cellular cleansing in the body. So you must chew this well till it becomes proper paste in your
Okay.
mouth and then swallow it. And this is soaked groundnut, soaked for over 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
So, this soaking is very important, and this is very high quality protein because these are organically grown groundnuts. See, the hybrid or even modified things will be this big nuts, they are not the thing to eat. These are original the way they are, the way they should be.
Right.
And there are many other enzymes in it which are very, very vital. There was a time when for months I just lived on just groundnut and one banana.
For the entire day.
Entire day. It has all the nourishment you need. And this is of course almonds, this is a little… This is for my international travel.
Okay.
Because this is not a local thing here, almond is not a local thing. They are growing, but not very popular. That's again a walnut, which is, you know, the benefits of the
सब
nuts.
soaked हैं क्या?
It matches with you, you know,
Why does it match with me?
because it's nuts. This is sprouted green gram, which is very high protein again.
Okay.
And the green part of it is very important.
Okay.
And it's very important, the almond is soaked and this is peeled. Because these kind of nuts have their own mechanism of self-defense. The moment you soak it in water, the seed believes that it's going to be planted. We're going to disappoint him, but it believes that it's going to be planted and he's going to sprout and become a big tree and he's got his own dreams.
Right.
So when you sprout, what he does is, there is a certain carcinogenic chemical within the nut which comes to the surface just beneath the skin,
Okay.
so that insects will not eat him up. Worms and insects will not attack at that time. So you soak it to give him a feeling that he's going to grow, and then peel it off, then you will see that carcinogenic is gone. Otherwise, when you eat an almond, you are eating that carcinogenic part without knowing that you're consuming it.
Are there any foods that one must avoid eating?
Aloo paratha, chola bhatura, sabudana.
Sabudana nahi.
Butter chicken. I'll probably begin with the almond. I want to know about your routine, your daily routine. What time do you wake up?
What is the routine?
There's no routine that you have?
Every day I'm in a different place and what I will be doing is anybody's guess, so I don't know what is a routine. There's no such thing in my life.
But there must be few practices that you do on a daily basis. You make sure that this is something that I do on a daily basis. Is there anything
So I
like
do
that?
one practice which is a very long 20 seconds,
Okay,
where I reorganize my energies before I start my day.
okay.
So when I wake up in the bed itself, I sit up for a minimum of 20 seconds and I'm done, I'm ready for the day.
You don't make like a task list, things to do list. I do that.
No.
Does it help in organizing day or anything? Or go with the flow?
No, it's not about… see, it is not a policy. It is a response, a conscious response to everything that's happening around you. If you make a policy, you will be out of time and out of space. You know, you… see, right now you're sitting here. If I already come ready with what I want to say, now if you ask one thing, I'll say something else because I got it in my head.
Yeah.
So I am walking around totally blank in my head. Blank means absolutely blank, without a thought or an emotion, simply walking around, looking at everything, absorbing everything still. So what comes, I respond. I don't pre-prepare anything.
Wow, okay.
That's the advantage of not being educated, you know.
Talk of education. You are educated. You did go to school and college, right? In fact, you come from a family, your father was a doctor, right?
He was. Not only a doctor, academically very brilliant doctor. They sent me to school. I did not go to school. There's a big difference.
Right.
Now I'm in school here.
Yes. And a very different kind of a school.
Yes.
But what problem did you have with the school or the education system back then?
First of all, nobody ever addressed me and explained to me why I should go to school. So I never understood why am I going to school, a place that I don't like to be. Why I don't like to be? I like the games, I like the friends, I like the stuff, but somebody comes here and starts talking chemistry. I'll start listening. Then my mind is going into the chemistry of everything. Then bell rings, somebody comes and talks mathematics. It's a shock for me. Then I'm just beginning to understand 2 plus 2, then suddenly somebody talks English literature. Like this is a hodgepodge. This is not about cultivating a child. This is an extruder, this is a factory where you're busy wanting to produce a product. I'm not somebody who can be made a product by anybody else or by myself. I wouldn't do that to me or to anybody for that matter. So the important thing is, education is about expanding human horizons. That aspect is simply missing. So generally those days, here also see this school, I have not kept window bars because that much freedom should be there. If the teacher is too boring, they must be able to escape. So I always left through the window. And sometimes I went and swam in the lake, caught fish and ate it, and went up and sat on the trees, or I went to the library and started reading all kinds of things, all sorts of things except the textbook I read. I think that's done a damn good thing to me.
But given that your father was a doctor and all doctor parents want their children to be doctors, as a child, do you remember what you wanted to be, and were there a lot of expectations of you to be a certain way? Because that's what most parents do to the kids.
See, we are four siblings, I'm the last one. So my father's idea of success is you must be a doctor. Otherwise you're a failure. If you're not a doctor, you have failed. So he tried with 1, 2, 3, nobody became a doctor. So I was the last So they were working hard on me and he's such a studious and academically brilliant person that he kept all his medical notes, he had kept all his textbooks and all the notes, thousands of pages of notes scribbled in small handwriting, in pages and pages and pages he had kept. He thought one of his children are going to read it one day, okay? So I made it very clear when I was around 10 years of age, see, doctor is one thing I'm not going to be. So don't pin your hopes on me, I don't know what I will be, I never knew what I will be. So when I came to, when I finished my pre-university, I decided I'm not going to go to university. In our family, that's like a crime, see. Then I realized, see, all I had to do was just fail the exam, nobody would have bothered me. I passed the exam and now you have to go. I said, why? No, after pre-university you must go to the university, after university you must go to the masters, this is how the world is set up. I said, no. I said, I'll educate myself. So that 1 year I spent entirely from morning to evening in the university library. Mysore University had a fantastic library then and I'm sure it still has. So morning 9 o'clock if it opens, I went. Before I go, I eat a mega big breakfast, not like this because I'm a voracious eater at that time. Today what I'm eating, that day what I was eating is at least 10 times more I was eating. But I never put on weight because my activity was so intense. So I eat a full big breakfast and go because I'm educating myself and I'm not falling into the routine of going from pre-university to university, suddenly I've become enemy of the family. Everybody thinks I've let them down, I've done this, I've done that, because they can't understand he's passed the exam and he's not going.
Yeah.
If he's failed, everybody would understand that, and then I thought this is all I had to do. One exam if I missed, I would have not gone, you know it was simple So, from 9 in the morning till 8 in the evening in the library, I sat reading all kinds of stuff. From popular mechanics, to comic books, to Homer, to literature, to all English poetry, all kinds of things, okay? All sorts of things. This factory-like robotic systems that we have set up for human beings is a crime, because human being is not a product like that. A human being is a possibility. Can you cultivate that possibility to something beautiful, or will you crush it by making it into a product of some kind? So, probably in our generation, our parents were overly concerned, if you don't get educated, what will happen to you? You know, those days, if you don't get the education and get a central government employment, even state government in my father's mind was not reliable. It has to be a central government employment. If you don't get that, you're finished, your life is over, you know. You had to be a doctor or an engineer, otherwise you won't make it.
Yeah. So how did you fight it out? Did you
I
rebel
didn't fight,
and
I just wasn't there, so
yeah.
I have a way of handling situations.
Which is what we want to know. I believe you also went out traveling just to understand world or look for answers.
Yes, at one time I cycled across South India, bicycle.
Okay.
Cycled across South India, from Karnataka, I cycled all over the Western Ghats. Very hard to cycle, you know.
Yeah.
Sprockets would break, the sheer pressure, you stand on the
Yeah.
pedal, try to go, those days those sprockets would just break and go poof, it was that hard.
Yeah.
So, I cycled a lot, I came to Kerala, I cycled all over southern India. Then I motorcycled, crisscrossed India, all over the place, many times over. So for me, travel was not going to some touristy place, going to a monument or a temple or something like this. I didn't go anywhere. I just traveled. I just loved the terrain, the landscape of India. So I still remember everything like that, one funny-looking rock and one crooked tree, something. This is how I remember everything. I don't remember in terms of places. Remembrance means, the problem with my mind is I don't have any words in my head. I have only videos.
Wow.
So, even what has happened 50 years ago, I can replay the video anytime. Without any distortion, I will see it even today, because they are not in the form of words. I never transcribed them in my mind. What the eyes did, I just left it at that. I didn't mess with it.
But was there a reason for you why you decided to travel? And what did you come back with?
It is not that you're looking for a takeaway. There is a tremendous amount of energy which is restless, because whatever people are offering you doesn't fulfill the aspiration of that energy. I'm not aspiring for anything particular. All I know is I need to do life in a more significant way. I don't know how. So, one important thing was, as you said, how did you handle the pressure, this, that pressure, I handled it by not being there. I was gone. Isn't that the easiest way to handle it?
But is that something you would recommend to a lot of kids out there who want to rebel against what their parents want them to do, or make them understand, or how do we handle a situation like that?
See, this was not a rebellion in any way. I never thought it was a rebellion, not in my mind. Right from early childhood, I started paying attention to life around me, every leaf, every flower, every little creature. I could spend days and days just looking at the ant mechanism of ants, how they work and what they do, and insects and bugs like this. My interest was life. Other people's interest is society, how they look and seem in a given society. My interest is life and the magnificent way it's happening. When I say magnificent, people think, oh, maybe I'm talking about a sunrise or a sunset. No, let's go back to an ant. An ant is magnificent. If you're an engineer, it's magnificent engineering. If you're an artist, it's a magnificent artwork. If you're a creator, it's a magnificent creation. So, I started looking at things with enormous attention. So this is what I'm telling young people also. See, the important thing is not what you're learning and what you're not learning. Your attention should become so keen. If you look at something, you penetrate. You don't think, you penetrate, because what can you think? Thinking is just a recycle of the data that you already know, isn't it? What's the point? A cow will go on mulching the food it's eaten, you don't have to do that, all right? Because human attention is such, without attention you cannot open any door. But that attention is missing and you're thinking of rebellion, that is no good. Because what looks like rebellious today could look stupid tomorrow, all right?
We've spoken about kids and how they should be. I'm a parent, I'm a mother. I want to know, what is the best possible way to raise a child in the times that we are living in?
Once you have a child, it's a 20-year project. That is if they do well. Otherwise, it's a lifelong project.
Yeah.
So, we must understand it's not about the volume of time that you spend. If you spend too much time, they'll get sick of you. It is the way you relate to them. Being I'm a mother, when you say this and you want to raise your child, you can raise only cattle. A human being cannot be raised. If you raise a human being, he will be just like a cattle, he or she will be just like a flock. You should not raise, you must cultivate and watch what is going to blossom. But raising means you already fixed what they should become. Don't ever fix that. This is a crime against humanity, I'm saying. I'm using a very strong word. This is a real crime against humanity, that you've already fixed what your child should become. Not only in terms of profession, this, that, in every way. Maybe it's a thorny plant, maybe it's a rose plant. It looks like a thorny plant, maybe it'll blossom roses later, maybe it's a mango tree, maybe it's a coconut tree, you don't know.
Yeah.
You just have to nourish, support and watch.
In terms of morals, ethics, or is it just about…
See, do you want your child or yourself to be guided by your morality or guided by your humanity? Which is better?
Humanity.
What is lacking in this world is humanity. In the name of morality, people are becoming inhuman to each other, isn't it? What's the point of that? Humanity is a better guide than morality, any day. Morality is a backdoor entry to pretend like a human being.
True.
But I thought you are a human being, why should you pretend?
Yeah. Do you think travel is one of the best ways to educate your child? Because ours is a travel platform.
See, simply random traveling may not be very educative, or it can educate you about things that you don't want your child to be educated about. Lot of exposure will happen, which you can't control when you're traveling. Not always it is good. So these things have been said by the English people and we're going on repeating the same thing. Because English people were trapped in a small island. If they didn't travel, they didn't see anything other than the grey mornings, mostly, all right? Even to sunlight, they had to come to India.
Yeah.
So, this travel is the best education. This was said by some English people because they're trapped in a small little island. When you're in an island, you must travel. But if you're elsewhere, you must travel to an island for fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make that like a prescription. It depends on the kind of person you are. Some people grow with travel, some people get crushed with travel. I think it should be looked at that way, it's not like a common prescription. But a lot of people would benefit by travel, at least they would loosen up from their day-to-day structures they have set up in their minds about with whom they can talk, whom they cannot talk, in new places, new people. It could loosen them up a little bit, definitely.
Do you travel? Do you still travel? Do you take some time off?
No, when I'm time on, I'm traveling all the time. But my travel, well, I've traveled literally most parts of the world, but the things that I see is usually the airport, the conference room and the local taxi maybe, or somebody picks me up. And maybe if there is some time, I'll see some important aspects of that city or country. So, my travel is little crazy, but I have traveled even otherwise. I have motorcycled around in other parts of the world and I've driven around. So, yes.
Any favorite place that you have, which is one of the best place that you really thought… I know you've biked around the whole world with the Save Soil campaign. Any particular site that you remember was spectacular?
Oh, there are some national parks in United States which are absolutely spectacular. Western Ghats in India is super spectacular. Himalayas, of course. From the age of 19, for 27 years, every year I trekked in the Himalayan region. Today it's become very busy. I'm just seeing, unfortunately, Joshimath is sinking. That's a place, I've been there so many times, I've trekked in that region quite a lot, the Valley of Flowers and all this stuff. Mostly I used to trek alone. So, I always traveled on top of the bus because I didn't want to miss anything. Doesn't matter, it's cold, it's raining, it's snowing, I sat on top of the bus always, because I didn't want to miss a thing. The next best thing to a motorcycle is top of the bus, believe me.
Really? Okay, we'll try that for sure.
Be careful, there are rocks coming, you must lie down. And the driver will say bijli and you must lie down, otherwise you will get bij.
Alright, we'll play one fun game, which is this or that. I'll give you choices.
I'll take the groundnut.
I'll give you more choices than what we have laid out here, okay? Masala dosa or idli sambar?
See, you're Maharashtra, no?
I'm Sindhi.
Further up, okay.
Sindhi
In a
Punjab.
Sindhi mind. Now you got me. In a Sindhi mind, what is a masala dosa and what is the idli is different from what is in my tongue. My experience of idli is how it is down south. As you go up, slowly it gets harder, harder, harder. In Delhi, you can bounce it like a golf ball.
मतलब
सख्त हो
Delhi में
जाती
इतनी
है।
So
अच्छी
masala dosa, slowly as it goes north, from something that if you put in your mouth, it should melt.
Yeah.
But it becomes like parchment, you'll have to chew it like a chapati.
Okay.
वो हर जगह के हिसाब
Depends
से।
who is making it.
Original.
हाँ,
What do you like to start your day with? Tea or coffee?
Coffee, of course.
Okay.
Do I look like tea?
Mysore or Coimbatore?
What?
You have to choose one. Your birthplace or place where you are settled.
I have chosen Coimbatore to live, but Mysore is a place to go.
Okay. You are enthusiastic about both these things, biking and playing golf. Choose one. If you have only 1 hour, you have to choose one.
I'll ride to the golf course.
Meditation or public speeches?
This happened in one of the ashrams in Himalayan region. There are two young friends in Mumbai, not Sindh, okay, Sindh is in a bad place today. From Mumbai, they went there, regular boys, and they went there to do some spiritual sadhana. So after 3 days, one guy was sitting in the garden totally dejected. The other guy went there and said, "Hey, what's happening here? I'd like to smoke, man." That guy said, "Even me, I'm really down because I can't smoke." And I said, "What's the problem? Let's go and ask the Guru if you can smoke." They went. Then the next day, one guy was sitting there again dejected. Another guy came smoking. Said, "Hey, you smoking, what happened?" I asked the master that, can I smoke when I'm meditating? He said, "No." What happened? How come you're smoking? You're not following the instruction. He said, "That's your problem." I asked him, "Can I meditate when I'm smoking?" He said, "Yes." So public speaking and meditation are not two different things.
Okay. Beaches or mountains?
I love beaches too, but mountains.
Mountains.
I have an addiction for mountains.
Chamundi Hills or ashram?
Yeah, the Vellangiri Hills is far more rich. Chamundi is as beautiful as it is and as significant as it is in my life. It's a small hill, it's not really a mountain. This is a mountain.
Yeah. That's the place where you had a different
Yes.
spiritual experience. But is that a place where you visit often? Do you go there or not as much
No,
now?
not really. Other
Okay.
people go, they marked out a spot where I sat and people go there. What's there for me to go?
Yeah. Okay. Are you a calling person or a texting person?
Almost all work these days are being done on text, largely, except a few calls. There was a time when… There have been days when I've taken… one day particularly I've counted where I took 210 calls in a day. Okay, on one day. Now it's largely text, I don't know how many. These guys should tell you how many texts they're sending me per day.
I watch a lot of your videos, so I know that you talk about making an appeal of making days longer than 24 hours, but it's not happening. But I do want to understand from you, how does one manage time? I mean, at least you have a busy life, you have ashram, you keep traveling around. How do you actually manage your time?
See, this is a mistake. Time is that aspect of life that you cannot manage. It rolls at the same pace for all of us. Do what you want. If you're awake, it's rolling at the same speed. If you sleep, at the same speed. Whatever you do, important things or unimportant things, for everybody, it's rolling at the same pace. Very fair life that way, okay? If your time was running faster than mine, that wouldn't be fair, isn't it? So, there is another aspect of your life which is your energies. It's your energies that you can manage. If you live with a very high level of intensity and dynamic energy, now what somebody does in 10 hours, you do it in 1 hour, so it makes a difference. But time nobody can manage, there's no such thing as time management. It's just rolling away all the time.
How does one plan the day then?
See, I never get up and think what is the plan for the day, but of course some events are already fixed and it is there. But because generally, almost always, unless I'm going and speaking somewhere for some specific conference or subject, not other than spiritual process, maybe there's a little something to read for me, Otherwise, I have no preparation. All I have to do is make sure I am fit and I'm showered up and dressed up. That's it, and fed. So it doesn't take much for me to prepare for a day.
Yeah. Do you have only like one meal in a day?
Generally, yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Unless I'm extra physical activity. Generally, one.
You drive.
What do you mean? You think I'm crippled or something?
No.
That's the whole problem. Spirituality is a disability. That's what I'm changing in the world.
You're too cool, I have to say. So as you saw, I had condiments today in the name of breakfast, so I'm a tad bit hungry. I am at the Isha Yoga Center. There is an ashram. It's also got a Bhiksha hall where everybody living in the ashram gets together during meal hours. There are particular set meal hours when everybody comes here and eats food. There are certain rules. You've got to stay quiet. You've got to enjoy what you're eating without being too distracted. So stay tuned because the Sunday brunch begins now.
Okay.
बर्तन भी देते हैं।
Well, it's been quite a day, I have to say, from having that simple breakfast with Sadhguru to enjoying this simple, silent meal and doing my own dishes. It's been a wonderful experience. I'm quite tempted to experience the ashram life, but if you enjoyed watching this video as well as my interaction with Sadhguru, remember to like, share and subscribe to Curly Tales. All we really do on this channel is speak to interesting people, have meaningful conversations, talk about travel, talk about food. Until next time, it's me, Kamiya Jani. Namaskaram.
भाई सबसे पहले तो मैं बात करना चाहूँगा स्कूल की, जो सदगुरु जी ने जो है ईशा फाउंडेशन के अंदर जो आश्रम के अंदर जो स्कूल एक बनाया हुआ है यार, वो स्कूल वाकई बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि खासतौर पर से जो पढ़ाने का एक तरीक़ेकार है, जो वहाँ पे जिस तरह हमें सिटिंग अरेंजमेंट देखने को मिली है, वो मुझे एक तो बहुत सिंपल लगी है और बहुत अच्छी भी लगी है।
मुझे ये चीज़ बहुत अच्छी लगी है कि मतलब एक बहुत ही ऑर्गेनाइज्ड और बहुत ही काम प्लेस आपको नजर आती है। उसकी जो एनर्जी, इसकी जो वाइब है, उसमें ही आपको एक सुकून महसूस हो रहा है। मतलब हम लोगों ने बहुत लिमिटेड हम कहेंगे कि वीडियो देखी होगी जो भी उसमें दिखाया गया, बट जो लोग वहाँ पर जाते हैं और जो लोग एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं, आई एम श्योर कि वो बिल्कुल एक डिफरेंट अनुभव उनका रहता होगा। बाकी हम लोग यूजली देखते हैं सदगुरु की जितनी भी वीडियोस होते हैं, काफ़ी हम कहेंगे कि एक आम व्यक्ति के लिए थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होता है टू अंडरस्टैंड जितना डीपली वो बात करते हैं किसी भी चीज़ को लेकर। बट आज काफ़ी कैजुअल टॉक हम लोगों को सुनने को मिली और मुझे वो बहुत अच्छा लगा कि जिस तरीके से उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ के बारे में, अपनी रूटीन के बारे में, वैसे तो ऐसा कोई रूटीन नहीं है, बट ये कि बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको सीखने का मौका मिलता है। और आज मुझे बड़ा मतलब इनफैक्ट मैं बहुत इंजॉय कर रही थी कि जो कॉन्वर्सेशन उन दोनों के बीच में चल रही थी, क्योंकि हम लोग नॉर्मली क्या है कि एक आम इंसान जो है ना, उसका सोचने का नजरिया आपके सोसाइटी के मुताबिक ना एक लिमिटेड रहता है, और जो एक गुरु होता है उसका जो एक बताने का स्टाइल होता है या चीज़ें एक्सप्लेन करने का जो तरीका होता है, वो मुझे लगता है कि मतलब वो सिंपल सी भी चीज़ को बहुत ख़ास बना देते हैं। सो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था सुन के और मैं बहुत ज़्यादा इंजॉय कर रही थी।
यार मैं यहाँ पे ये कहूँगा कि स्पिरिचुअल लीडर भी जो है ना, आपको दो तरह के देखने को मिलते हैं। एक ऐसे होते हैं जिनको जो है ना आप सुनते साथ ही स्किप कर देते हैं, और कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जिनको ना सुन के आपको बहुत अच्छा लगता है, उनकी बातें जो है ना आपको समझ लगती हैं। तो ये चीज़ होना एक स्पिरिचुअल लीडर में कि यार आप जो है ना उसकी, यानी कि अगर वो बात कर रहा है तो आप उसे जो है सुने, गौर से सुने और आप जो है उस चीज़ को समझने के साथ उस चीज़ को एंजॉय करें। ये चीज़ जो है बहुत कम लोगों में जो है पाई जाती है। अच्छा, वैसे उनके चाइल्डहुड की बात करें तो जिस तरह उन्होंने बताया कि उनके जो फादर थे वो एक बहुत अच्छे डॉक्टर थे, और मोस्टली ये चीज़ देखने को मिलती है कि हमारे यहाँ पर जो एक एजुकेशन सिस्टम है उसमें कहते हैं भाई या तो डॉक्टर हो या इंजीनियर हो, और क्या नाम लेते हैं, इन दी एंड बंदे के पास एक अच्छी सरकारी नौकरी हो। अगर इन दोनों में से कोई चीज़ बंदा नहीं करना चाहता, तो ये चीज़ जो है ना मोस्टली हमें देसी पेरेंट्स जो हैं उनमें देखने को मिलती है कि भाई अपने बच्चों को जो है ना वो इस चीज़ के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा फोर्स करते हैं। इस चीज़ को तो बिल्कुल निगलेक्ट कर देते हैं कि बच्चा खुद क्या करना चाह रहा है, खुद क्या बनना चाह रहा है। तो उसके चक्कर में मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो बच्चा जो है ना जो खुद बेहतर तरीके से कर सकता है, वो उसका आउटपुट उस तरह नहीं दे पाता।
अगर हम स्पिरिचुअल गुरु की बात करें तो मुझे लगता है कि शायद ही हम लोगों ने देखा हो कि स्पिरिचुअल गुरु के साथ साथ सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर भी जो है वो इतना अच्छा हो। मतलब जिस तरह से एक कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रही थी और नट्स वाली बात हुई, तो मुझे अपना एक वाकया याद आया कि एक बार किसी ने मेरे को बोला था एक बार कि आर यू नट्स, तो मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आया था उस टाइम पर ना। लेकिन अभी तो खैर हम लोग चीज़ें काफ़ी ज़्यादा समझ गए हैं, और मतलब अभी उतना वो एक गुस्सा वगैरह जो है वो नहीं है, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि एज ऐसी होती है आपकी जब आप काफ़ी ज़्यादा अग्रेशन में आ जाते हो छोटी छोटी बातों पर। बट इतनी बड़े आप जब इंसान के सामने बैठे हो तो फिर डेफिनेटली आप ये मतलब चीज़ों को अंडरस्टैंड करते हो कि किस तरीके से उनको जो है वो बातें की गई। बट मतलब उन्होंने बहुत ही मतलब देखो किस तरीके से उन्होंने एक चीज़ उसमें से निकाली, मुझे वो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगी।
असल में सदगुरु जी की मैं बात करूँ, उन्होंने यहाँ पे जो बात की है ना वो बहुत एक अच्छे तरीके से की है। अगले बंदे को अगले बंदे को बात भी कर फील भी आना, लेकिन ऑन द अदर साइड हमें ऐसे लोग भी जो है सोसाइटी में खासतौर पर देखने को मिलते हैं, एक बात को कंटिन्यूसली इतना रिपीट करेंगे कि अगले बंदे को जो है ना जानबूझ के उस पर जो है ना गुस्सा आना शुरू हो जाए।
बट आई थिंक ये आपका तरीका होता है कि आप कैसे वो बात करते हो। मतलब एक ही बात हो अगर आप एक डिफरेंट स्टाइल में कहोगे तो आपको गुस्सा आएगा, और उसी बात को किसी डिफरेंट स्टाइल में बोलोगे तो आपको हंसी भी आएगी।
बिल्कुल ऐसे ही है।
लेकिन एक चीज जो मैंने नोट की आज की वीडियो में, और वो ये कि सदगुरु मतलब 3 जगह पर मैंने देखा कि उन्होंने अपने हाथ जो है मतलब नमन किया, लाइक इस तरीके से। एक जब उनके फादर का जिक्र आया, एक जब उनके टीचर्स का जिक्र आया तब, और एक जब उन्होंने एंट वाली एक एग्जांपल दी थी तो क्रिएचर कह रही हूँ, क्रिएटर का जिक्र जब आया, तो मतलब ये चीज़ मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं पर अगर हम देखें तो ये मतलब क्रिएटर जो है वो तो बनाता ही है, टीचर जो है वो भी आपको बनाता है, और जो आपका फादर होते हैं हाँ वो भी आपको कहीं ना कहीं पर बनाते हैं। लाइक मतलब एक मुझे एक बहुत ना अच्छी एक मैं कहूँगी कि जो एक सीख मिली मुझे कि लाइक कहाँ पर आपको जो ग्रैटिट्यूड है वो शो करना चाहिए। सो मुझे ये चीज़ बहुत अच्छी लगी। बाकी जो उनका एक मुझे अच्छा लगा कि ह्यूमैनिटी हम में कम है, एग्जैक्टली और लोगों में प्रॉब्लम यही है कि हम अपनी सोसाइटी के बनाए हुए रूल्स को ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं। एक सही चीज़ क्या है, गलत चीज़ क्या है, उसमें हम लोग इतना नहीं पढ़ते, और ह्यूमैनिटी की बहुत कमी हो चुकी हुई है आज के टाइम में। और बच्चों को लेकर जो उन्होंने बात की, मैं उससे भी बिल्कुल सहमत हूँ भाई। मुझे लगता है कि सदगुरु की बातें इतनी मज़े की थी ना आज की, कि ऐसा लग रहा था कि एक फ्री सोल की तरह आपको रहना चाहिए, कि एक इंसान जो है वो कोई किसी फैक्ट्री में बनने वाला वाकई में प्रोडक्ट नहीं है। उसको मतलब आपको पहले ही हम जैसे कहते हैं ना कि किसी के बारे में हम जजमेंटल हो जाते हैं, तो आपको उस तरीके से नहीं होना चाहिए, आपको अपना माइंड फ्री रखना चाहिए। तो मुझे लगता है कि चीज़ें और ज़िंदगी काफ़ी आसान और अच्छी
यार इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। आप अपने माइंड को जितना रिलैक्स रखते हो, चीज़ों के बारे में जितना कम सोचते हैं, आप उतना ज़्यादा ज़िंदगी में रिलैक्स रहते हैं, और चीज़ों के बारे में जितना आप उससे वो सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं, ओवर थिंक करना शुरू कर देते हैं, आप उतना ज़्यादा परेशान रहते हो कि चीज़ों के बारे में कि पता नहीं यार अगर मैं इस करूंगा होगा या नहीं होगा फ्लैट में कहा नहीं। ये मोस्टली चीज़ मेरे साथ भी होती है कि मैं चीज़ों को लेकर बहुत ज़्यादा जो है ना ओवर थिंक करना शुरू कर देता हूँ, और उसका नतीजा ये होता है कि मैं खुद ही जो है ना फिर उन्हीं चीज़ों से डिप्रेस होना जो है शुरू हो जाता हूँ,
क्योंकि एनर्जी जो है वो वेस्ट
हो जाती है बहुत ज़्यादा आपकी। फिर उसके अलावा एक और चीज़ जो सदगुरु जी की मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी कि वो मोटर बाइक जो है वो चलाना उन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है। अगर वो कहीं जाते हैं तो बस की छत पर बैठ कर जो है वो जो है ट्रैवल करना पसंद करते हैं। तो मुझे भी ये चीज़ जो है ना सिर्फ इसी वजह से पसंद है कि आप जो है ना जब गाड़ी में होते हैं, गाड़ी में सिर्फ आप एक साइड ही देख सकते हैं, लेकिन जब आप बाइक पे हो या आप किसी चीज़ की छत पर बैठे हो तो आपको चारों साइड के नज़ारे जो है ना नज़र आते हैं। तो वो जो एक एक्सपीरियंस आप फील कर सकते हैं ना बाइक पर या बस की छत पर, वो आप अंदर बैठ कर नहीं फील कर सकते किसी चीज़ में।
अच्छा, यहाँ पर एनर्जी की बात हो रही है क्योंकि मेरा थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्ट वाला टॉपिक है। सो मुझे लगता है एक तो वाकई में हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा लैग भी करते हैं कि चीज़ों को हम समझ नहीं पाते। अभी मैं क्योंकि हर चीज़ में एक ऑब्जर्व करती हूँ कि हमारी एनर्जी कहाँ कहाँ पर हम लोग वेस्ट करते हैं। इनफैक्ट अगर मैं फूड की बात करूँ तो खाना खाते हुए भी मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम लोग डिफरेंट टास्क कर रहे हैं ना, यानी कि हम लोग मोबाइल यूज़ कर रहे हैं, टीवी देख रहे हैं, या फिर हमारे दिमाग में और बहुत सारी चीज़ें चल रही हैं, तो खाने की वो एनर्जी हमें कभी भी नहीं मिलेगी जो हमें एक्चुअल में मिलनी चाहिए। सो मुझे लगता है कि ये वो चीज़ें हैं जो हम लोगों को रियलाइज करनी पड़ेंगी कि अभी हम जैसे कहते हैं हम खाना खा रहे हैं बट हमें उसका बेनिफिट नहीं मिला, बट क्या हम उसको प्रॉपर उस तरीके से खा रहे हैं जो एक तरीका होना चाहिए खाने का। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये चीज़ें जो लॉजिकली जब हम लोगों को समझाएंगे ना तो तब समझ में आएगी। और
बहुत सारे लोगों को तब भी नहीं
यहाँ पर अगर मैं समझाऊंगी ना तो लोग मेरे में थोड़ा सा पहले हंसेंगे, बट फिर भी मुझे अच्छा लगता है बात करना। तो मैं जरूर बताती हूँ और मैं करती रहती हूँ बात। मैं कहती हूँ ठीक है अभी नहीं समझ आएगी, शायद कभी इनको समझ आ जाए, किसी पॉइंट पर आपके दिमाग में कोई बात आ जाती है, बट मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि मैं लोगों को कुछ ना कुछ इस तरीके से जो मैं समझ पाती हूँ मैं वो कन्वे करूँ किसी भी तरीके से। एनीवे गाइस, ओवरऑल बहुत ही मजे की कॉन्वर्सेशन थी, बहुत अच्छा लगा एंड आई होप आप लोगों को भी अच्छा लगा होगा। और अगर कभी मुझे मौका मिला लाइफ में तो डेफिनेटली मैं ज़रूर ईशा फाउंडेशन जो है वो विजिट करूँगी। हाँ, और मैं वहाँ पर स्पेशली महाशिवरात्रि जो है वो ज़रूर अटेंड करना चाहूँगी। और अभी हम आपसे लेते हैं इजाजत, नमस्कारम, और इसी के साथ में इजाजत। हमारी वीडियोस को लाइक, सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर। गुड बाय।